My name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to topic 5, homeostasis. Our learning outcome A. Analyze the homeostatic control system, focusing on the role of negative feedback mechanism in maintaining internal stability. We are going to look at learning activity A. In groups, learners search for the significance of maintaining a stable internal environment, components of an efficient homeostatic system. Make a write-up and share their findings with the class. Homeostasis, item 1. Let's look at a student with fever. A learner develops a fever during a malaria infection. Despite changes in the external temperature, the body attempts to maintain a normal internal temperature. Task: define homeostasis. Explain why maintaining a stable internal environment is important. Define homeostasis. Homeostasis is the maintenance of a relatively constant internal environment within narrow limits, despite changes in the external environment. Explain why maintaining a stable internal environment is important. It ensures optimal conditions for enzyme activity. It maintains normal metabolic reactions. It prevents damage to cells and tissues and promotes survival of the organism. Homeostasis, item 2. Let's now look at intense exercise on a hot day. A football player sweats heavily during a match played in hot weather. Task: identify the homeostatic process involved. Explain how this process helps maintain internal balance. Identify the homeostatic process involved. Thermoregulation. Explain how this process helps maintain internal balance. Sweat evaporates from the skin. Heat is lost from the body surface. Body temperature is reduced to normal. Homeostasis, item 3. Let's look at blood glucose regulation. After eating carbohydrate-rich meal, a student's blood glucose level rises. Task. Name the system involved in regulating blood glucose. Explain the significance of regulating blood glucose concentration. Name the system involved in regulating blood glucose. Endocrine system. The pancreas secreting insulin. Explain the significance of regulating blood glucose concentration. It prevents hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. Ensures continuous supply of glucose to the brain cells. Maintains steady energy supply for respiration. Homeostasis item 4. Let's look at dehydration due to diarrhea. A patient with severe diarrhea loses large amounts of water and salts. Task. Explain how failure of homeostasis affects the body. State 2 consequences of poor regulation of water balance. Explain how failure of homeostasis affects the body. It disrupts enzyme functions. It affects metabolic reactions. It leads to organ malfunction. State 2 consequences of poor regulation of water balance. Dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, and reduced blood volume. Now let's go to components of an efficient homeostatic system. Item 5. Focusing on temperature control system. A rise in body temperature is detected and corrective action occurs. Task. Identify the components of a homeostatic control system. State the role of each component. Identify the components of homeostatic control system. They are receptors, control center, and effectors. State the role of each component. We have the receptors. These detect change or the stimulus. Control center processes information and coordinates response. Effector carries out corrective action. We are still on the components of an efficient homeostatic system, item 6. Now we are looking at nervous versus hormonal control. A teacher compares temperature regulation and blood glucose control. Task: state the type of control involved in each case. Explain why both systems are necessary for homeostasis. State the type of control involved in each case. Temperature regulation, it is nervous control. Blood glucose regulation is hormonal control. Explain why both systems are necessary for homeostasis. Nervous control is fast and short-lived. Hormonal control is slower but long-lasting. Together they ensure precise regulation. Still under the components of an efficient homeostasis system, item 7. Let's look at negative feedback mechanism. When body temperature rises, sweating occurs until normal temperature is restored. Task: identify the feedback mechanism involved. Explain its significance. Identify the feedback mechanism involved. It is negative feedback. Explain the significance, its significance. Opposes the initial change, restores normal conditions, prevents extreme fluctuations. Marking emphasis. Define key terms correctly, accurately. Explain biological significance. Identify components correctly. Apply concepts to real-life situations. Use correct scientific terminology. Summary. Maintaining a stable internal environment is essential for proper enzyme function and survival. An efficient homeostatic system consists of receptors, control centers, and effectors working through negative feedback mechanisms to regulate internal conditions. Thank you for participating in topic 5, homeostasis We have been looking at learning outcome A. Analyze the homeostatic control system, focusing on the role of negative feedback mechanism in maintaining internal stability. We have been looking at learning activities A. In groups, learners search for the significance of maintaining a stable internal environment, components of an efficient homeostatic system, make a write-up and share their findings with the class. If this has been very useful to you, visit me at Mugabi Joshua Biology on YouTube.